Hello everyone, and welcome to another marvelous video. The Tron franchise has captivated audiences for more than 4 decades. From the revolutionary 1982 original that introduced viewers to the grid to the visually stunning Tron Legacy in 2010, the series has constantly pushed the boundaries of technology and imagination. Along the way, it's expanded beyond film into television, theme park attractions, and even unexpected cultural moments, building a legacy that continues to inspire fans worldwide. With the upcoming release of Tron Ares in 2025, the franchise is set to enter an exciting new chapter, and in today's video, we'll be discussing some crazy facts about it. So, without any further delay, let's dive into 25 insane facts about the Tron franchise. And before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel now. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Tron franchise was inspired by Pong. The Tron franchise was inspired by one of the earliest video games ever created, Pong. Pong was a simple arcade game created by Alan Alcorn as a training exercise assigned to him by Atari co-founder Nolan Bushnell. The game was released in the early 1970s, in which 2 players controlled paddles to hit a ball back and forth across the screen. It was like tennis, in which the ball bounced from all sides except the player's base. Despite its basic visuals and straightforward mechanics, Pong captured the imagination of many, including Steven Lisberger, the director of Tron. Lisberger had always been fascinated by the rise of computer technology and the growing influence of video games in popular culture. When he saw Pong, he began to imagine how digital games could be transformed into living environments filled with characters, rules, and conflicts. The simplicity of Pong gave more than enough space for imagination, making it a doorway into the virtual world. It was in 1976 that Lisberger came across Pong, and the gameplay sparked the idea of Tron. The minimalist design of Pong with its clean lines and bright moving ball influenced the sleek neon look that would later define the world of Tron. The digital duel between paddles and ball evolved into light cycles, disc battles and grid-based environments inside the film. Without Pong's inspiration, the Tron franchise might never have existed in its unique form.
Tron fought back, but Clue was too powerful and left him.
It was originally planned as a cartoon. Before becoming the groundbreaking 1982 film, Tron was initially conceived as a fully animated feature, with live-action sequences serving only as bookends. Director Steven Lisberger imagined a world where traditional animation could merge with emerging computer graphics to tell a story set inside a digital universe. His exposure to the video game and his fascination with computer-generated imagery inspired him to explore how animation and technology could intersect regular filming landscapes. In the early stages, Lisberger and his team developed storyboards and created test animations to demonstrate the potential of this innovative approach. However, the limitations of existing animation technology soon became clear. The team struggled to integrate live-action footage with animated elements, which led to a shift in production strategy. This evolution resulted in the hybrid style seen in the final film, combining live-action sequences with backlit animation and early CGI to depict the digital world. It was initially rejected by major studios. Tron was initially rejected by major studios before Disney decided to produce it. Steven Lisberger and his co-producer Donald Kushner pitched the concept to Warner Brothers, MGM, and Columbia, but all the companies turned it down. The studios felt the idea of a story set entirely inside a digital world was too risky and technologically challenging to succeed. They weren't confident that audiences would connect with a film based on video games and computer-generated imagery, and they worried about the costs and complexity of production. Despite these rejections, Lisberger remained determined to bring his vision to life. He refined the concept and created a test reel that demonstrated how live action and animation could merge to create the unique digital environment he envisioned. This reel impressed Disney, particularly associate producer and visual effects supervisor Harrison Ellenshaw, who had worked on Star Wars. Disney decided to take a chance on resources needed to become a groundbreaking film. The initial rejections from MGM and Columbia highlight how ahead of its time Tron was. Disney animators refused to work on it. Even after Disney decided to produce Tron, there were many other roadblocks. Many Disney animators refused to work on Tron because they feared computers would replace traditional animation and make their skills obsolete. At the time, computer-generated imagery was a new and untested technology, and animators were worried that their craft would no longer be valued. This resistance created challenges for director Steven Lisberger, who had to find alternative ways to bring his vision to life. To overcome this, Lisberger hired outside artists and designers, including the renowned French illustrator Mobius and futurist Sid Mead, to help create the film's striking visual style. He also relied on a small team willing to experiment with blending live action, backlit animation, and computer-generated imagery. The final result was a groundbreaking aesthetic that set Tron apart from any other films of its era. Although the refusal of Disney's in-house animators was a setback, it forced the production team to innovate in ways that might not have occurred otherwise. Mobius and Sid Mead helped design. Tron's groundbreaking visuals were shaped by the talents of legendary artists Mobius and Sid Mead. As mentioned previously, director Steven Lisberger had brought them on board to design the costumes, environments, and overall look of the digital world. Mobius, a French illustrator, was known for his imaginative and surreal artwork, while Sid Mead, a futurist and concept artist, had worked on films such as Blade Runner. Together, they created a visual language that combined futuristic architecture, glowing circuitry, and sleek costume designs. Their contributions helped make the grid feel both alien and believable, giving Tron a style that had never been seen in cinema before. The combination of their designs with live action and early computer-generated imagery defined the film's iconic look and set a new standard for visual storytelling in science fiction.
They keep me around just in case one of them wants to deal with the other world.
Only 2 megabytes of memory used. Tron was created using computer technology that would be considered extremely limited by today's standards. The entire computer-generated imagery for the 1982 film was produced using a machine that had only 2 megabytes of memory and 330 megabytes of storage. These specifications are minuscule compared to modern devices. For perspective, even a simple smartphone today contains tens of thousands of times more memory and storage than the computers used for Tron. Director Steven Lisberger and his team faced enormous challenges due to these constraints. They had to carefully plan every shot and optimize every frame of animation to fit within the limited memory. Complex scenes, such as the light cycle races, required months of calculation and rendering. Computers at the time couldn't process large amounts of data quickly, so the production team had to be patient and creative to achieve the desired visual effects. Because of these limitations, Tron used a combination of computer-generated imagery and traditional animation techniques. Live actors were filmed on black backgrounds using high-contrast film, and animators then manually traced and colorized the images to create the glowing effects that became the film's signature look. Every visual effect was painstakingly crafted, and even small mistakes could mean weeks of additional work. Pac-Man cameo. Tron included a hidden Pac-Man cameo that served as a nod to the video game inspirations behind the film. During the scene in which the villain Sark addresses his troops, viewers can catch a glimpse of the iconic arcade character. Now, the appearance is brief, but it demonstrates the filmmaker's playful approach to incorporating elements from the burgeoning video game culture of the early 1980s. Alongside Pac-Man, other Easter eggs and references to popular games were hidden throughout the film. For example, the design of the recognizer surveillance machines drew inspiration from the hunched posture of Donkey Kong, and a digitally rendered lake briefly appeared in the shape of Mickey Mouse's head. These hidden touches reflected the filmmaker's awareness of their audience and their love for games. This approach contributed to the cult following that Tron eventually developed, as viewers began to notice and discuss these subtle details long after the film's release. Pac-Man's cameo, while small, exemplified how Tron bridged the world of cinema and video games. Academy Awards snub. Tron was not only snubbed, but disqualified by the Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects, despite being widely recognized for its groundbreaking work in computer-generated imagery. When the nominations for the 1983 ceremony were announced, many expected Tron to receive a nomination due to its innovative techniques and complex visual effects. Instead, the Academy excluded it, reportedly because they believed that using computers constituted cheating. Arcade machines on set. During the production of Tron, arcade machines were placed on set to entertain and inspire the cast between takes. The filmmakers recognized that the actors were portraying characters immersed in a digital world, so providing real video games helped them connect with the environment and mindset of the grid. Playing the games allowed the actors to experience the competitive energy and excitement that the fictional programs would encounter inside the digital realm. Jeff Bridges, who played Kevin Flynn, became especially engrossed in the arcade machines. He was reportedly the most skilled among the cast and often found it difficult to tear himself away from the games to return to shooting scenes. The competitive atmosphere created by the arcade games encouraged improvisation and authentic reactions from the performers. Bridges' interactions with the games even informed subtle aspects of his character, helping him embody the playful and rebellious nature of Flynn.
Everything you do or learn will be imprinted on this
Discs instead of guns. Tron's creators intentionally replaced guns with identity discs to avoid depicting traditional firearms and to create a unique form of combat within the digital world. Director Steven Lisberger wanted the film to remain accessible to younger audiences and to distance it from violence that could be easily imitated in real life. He decided that programs inside the grid would use discs as weapons, which served both as a tool for combat and as a storage device containing each program's identity and history. The identity discs became central to the story and gameplay of the grid. When characters threw or exchanged discs, it represented not only a physical action, but also a transfer of information and power. This concept reinforced the futuristic and computer-oriented nature of the Tron universe, differentiating it from conventional action films. The discs glowed with distinct colors and were visually striking, adding to the film's signature aesthetic. Their presence also emphasized strategy and skill over sheer force, as characters had to anticipate movements and react quickly to succeed in disc battles. The use of discs instead of guns had a broader impact beyond the film. It influenced the design of Tron-inspired arcade games and sequels, where players engaged in disc-throwing battles rather than shooting with traditional weapons. The concept also became iconic in popular culture, inspiring toys, cosplay, and fan interpretations of the grid. This creative choice reflected the filmmaker's commitment to crafting a cohesive digital world where the rules of reality were adapted to suit a computer-based universe. The identity discs were not only tools of combat, but also symbols of individuality, knowledge, and connection within the grid.
Boy, you forget how good the power feels.
Playboy tie-in rejected. During the production of Tron, Playboy approached Disney with a proposal to create a themed photo spread featuring models posed with circuitry and electronic imagery inspired by the film. The magazine aimed to capitalize on Tron's futuristic aesthetic and the growing popularity of video games, hoping to attract readers with a visually striking and provocative concept. Disney, however, rejected the idea. The studio decided that the brand and target audience of Tron, which included younger viewers and families, wouldn't align with an adult magazine tie-in. Disney sought to maintain the film's accessibility and avoid any associations with overtly sexualized marketing. The rejection reflected the company's careful control over its intellectual property and its desire to protect the film's reputation and appeal to all age groups. This decision demonstrated the filmmaker's commitment to keeping the Tron universe focused on technology, innovation, and imaginative storytelling rather than exploiting the film's visual style for adult content.
Elementary physics, a beam of energy can always be diverted. Are we there yet, Mommy?
Jeff Bridges kept his helmet. During the production of Tron, Jeff Bridges wore a custom helmet as part of his role as Kevin Flynn. The helmet was designed to enhance the futuristic aesthetic of the character and to complement the glowing light suits used throughout the film. Filming under the helmet proved physically demanding, as it caused heat and discomfort during long shooting sessions. Bridges also experienced hair loss due to the stress of wearing the helmet, combined with the extensive makeup and lighting required for the digital world sequences. Despite these challenges, Bridges developed an attachment to the helmet. After filming concluded, he chose to keep it as a personal memento of the project. The helmet became a symbol of his involvement in one of the most technologically ambitious films of the era. Bridges occasionally showcased the helmet in interviews and public appearances, highlighting its significance as part of Tron's legacy. The choice to keep the helmet also reflected his appreciation for the creative risks taken during production. The project pushed boundaries in visual effects, backlit animation, and digital compositing, and the helmet served as a tangible reminder of these innovations. The iconic Tron helmet remains a beloved artifact among fans and collectors. Its design influenced later science fiction films and inspired cosplay within the Tron community. Boxleitner almost declined the role. Bruce Boxleitner, who ultimately portrayed Alan Bradley in Tron, nearly turned down the role during the film's casting process. At the time, Boxleitner was unfamiliar with video games and didn't initially see the appeal of participating in a movie centered around a digital universe. He expressed hesitation because he couldn't fully relate to the technological aspects of the story or the futuristic setting depicted in the film. His perspective shifted when he learned that Jeff Bridges had signed on to play Kevin Flynn. Bridges' involvement gave Boxleitner confidence in the project and reassured him the production team was capable of delivering a compelling and innovative film. Bridges' reputation and enthusiasm for the role convinced Boxleitner to reconsider, ultimately accepting the part of Alan Bradley, who becomes a key ally to Flynn in the heroic program Tron. Boxleitner's decision proved significant for both the film and his career. His portrayal of Alan Bradley resonated with audiences and helped establish the dynamic between the real world and the digital grid. Tron arcade game outgrossed the film. The Tron arcade game, released shortly after the 1982 film, became a major commercial success and ultimately outgrossed the movie itself. Developed and distributed by Bally Midway, the game allowed players to experience key sequences from the film, including navigating mazes, battling enemy programs, and engaging in light cycle races. Its innovative gameplay and tie-in with the movie's futuristic aesthetic attracted both casual gamers and dedicated arcade enthusiasts, quickly making it one of the most popular games of its time. While the Tron film received only modest box office returns and mixed reviews upon release, the arcade game found an eager audience in arcades across the United States and internationally. The interactive nature of the game allowed players to immerse themselves in the digital world of the grid, giving them a hands-on experience that the film couldn't provide. This interactivity helped solidify Tron's presence in popular culture, despite the film's initial commercial challenges. John Lasseter of Pixar was heavily inspired by Tron. During the production of Tron in the early 1980s, a young John Lasseter, who would later become a key figure at Pixar and director of Toy Story, witnessed the film's groundbreaking use of computer-generated imagery. At the time, Lasseter worked as a storyboard artist at Disney and was fascinated by the early digital effects that Tron employed. Lasseter described the experience as transformative. Observing the creation of the grid, the light cycle sequences, and the backlit animation techniques opened his mind to the possibilities of computer animation in storytelling. He realized that digital technology could be used not just for visual spectacle, but as a narrative tool to craft imaginative worlds and engage audiences in new ways. Tron inspired him to experiment with CGI and to explore how technology could expand the boundaries of traditional animation. This inspiration led Lasseter to convince Disney to allow him to create a short CGI test reel, which demonstrated the potential for fully computer-generated environments. Although the studio initially prioritized cost-saving measures over technological experimentation, Lasseter persisted. His efforts and vision ultimately laid the foundation for Pixar, a studio that revolutionized animated filmmaking and storytelling through the use of digital techniques. The influence of Tron on Lasseter also shaped his approach to character design, narrative pacing, and the integration of technology in film. It encouraged him to push the limits of animation, combining emotional storytelling with visually innovative methods. Cult following grew over time. Although Tron wasn't a major box office success when it premiered in 1982, gradually developed a devoted cult following over the years. Its status kept growing eventually after the audience realized the true artistry of the film. Fans appreciated the film's pioneering approach to technology and storytelling, recognizing it as a groundbreaking effect that was ahead of its time. The movie's appeal grew as home video and television broadcasts introduced it to new audiences who may have missed it during its theatrical run. Gamers and tech enthusiasts in particular were drawn to the film's depiction of arcade games, digital environments, and futuristic visuals. The light cycle races, identity discs, and the heroic program Tron became iconic elements that resonated with fans. Cosplay communities, fan art, and online discussions helped keep the spirit of Tron alive, solidifying its status as a beloved franchise despite its initial lukewarm reception. Over time, Tron's influence extended beyond the film itself. Video games, comic books, and merchandise allowed fans to engage more deeply with the franchise. The eventual release of Tron Legacy in 2010 introduced the original story to a new generation, while expanding the mythology of the grid and paying homage to the aesthetic and themes of the 1982 film. Tron Legacy was one of the most expensive films by a first-time director. Tron Legacy, released in 2010, stood out as one of the most expensive films ever directed by a first-time filmmaker. Joseph Kosinski, who had previously worked in architecture and commercials, was entrusted by Disney with the enormous task of continuing the Tron universe. With an estimated budget of around $170 million, the project required massive investment in visual effects, including the fully realized digital world of the grid, extensive motion capture, and pioneering CGI de-aging technology to allow Jeff Bridges to play both Kevin Flynn and the villainous Clue. The production also featured elaborate stunts, large-scale set designs, and visually striking light cycle sequences that modernized the aesthetic of the 1982 original. Kosinski faced the dual challenge of honoring a cult classic while meeting the expectations of a new blockbuster audience. The result was a visually groundbreaking film supported by Daft Punk's acclaimed electronic soundtrack. Tron Legacy ultimately grossed just over $400 million worldwide, making it a modest financial success. While reviews were mixed on the narrative, its visual achievements, soundtrack, and digital innovation earned it a lasting place as a bold experiment in modern science fiction filmmaking, leading to his later work on titles such as Oblivion and Top Gun Maverick.
I believed in users once before.
Daft Punk cameo in Legacy. In Tron Legacy, the French electronic music duo Daft Punk not only composed the film's acclaimed soundtrack, but also made a cameo appearance on screen. They appeared as DJs inside the End of Line Club, a visually striking nightclub sequence in the grid that emphasized the movie's futuristic and electronic aesthetic. Their presence added authenticity and a sense of contemporary musical culture to the scene. The inclusion of Daft Punk as performers reflected the filmmaker's desire to merge audio and visual innovation. The duo's music, which combined orchestral and electronic elements, perfectly complemented the high-tech visuals, enhancing the immersive experience of the grid. The cameo also served as a nod to fans of electronic music and pop culture, highlighting the filmmaker's attention to detail in creating a culturally rich digital environment. Their signature helmets and stylish performance mirrored the glowing aesthetic of the grid, creating a memorable visual moment that stood out even amid the film's extensive action and CGI sequences. Beyond being a simple background element, the duo's presence symbolized the fusion of music and technology, a perfect theme of the Tron franchise. Their cameo helped solidify the film's reputation for blending music, technology, and futuristic visuals, and it became one of the more memorable Easter eggs for fans.
I came with a girl. A program. Where is she?
Light suits were extremely fragile. The light suits worn by the actors in Tron Legacy were both visually stunning and technically delicate. Each suit was fitted with embodied light strips powered by small lithium batteries, which lasted only 12 minutes per charge. This limitation required the production team to switch the lights on immediately before filming each take and turn them off right afterward to conserve power. The suit's fragility made them extremely difficult to handle, as even minor impacts could damage the circuitry and compromise the glowing effects essential to the grid's aesthetic. Actors had to carefully manage their movements while wearing the suits. They couldn't simply sit or lean between takes, since the delicate wiring could break under pressure. Instead, they often had to recline against upright boards or remain standing to avoid damaging the light strips. This created challenging working conditions on set, especially during long hours of filming, complicated action sequences, or light cycle races. Despite the constraints, the suits were essential to maintaining the iconic neon glow that defined the Tron visual style, bridging the gap between live-action performance and digital enhancement. The design and maintenance of the light suits involved a collaboration between costume designers, electrical engineers, and visual effects artists. Each suit had to be custom fitted to the actor's body while accommodating the complex wiring necessary for illumination. The production team also had to coordinate the timing of battery changes, lighting adjustments, and on-camera actions to ensure seamless continuity across shots. Ultimately, the fragility of the light suits highlighted the challenges of merging practical costume effects with advanced digital cinematography.
Is the most secure operating system ever released. The idea of sharing our software.
Cillian Murphy's secret role. Cillian Murphy played a secret, uncredited role in Tron Legacy, portraying Edward Dillinger Jr., a board member of Encom's software design team and the son of former Encom executive Ed Dillinger from the original 1982 film. His brief appearance connected the events of Tron Legacy to the original storyline, subtly reinforcing the continuity of the franchise. By including Murphy in this cameo, the filmmakers created an Easter egg for attentive fans, rewarding viewers who were familiar with the Encom family and the corporate intrigue central to the plot. Murphy's character added depth to the narrative, hinting at the ongoing legacy of Encom and the evolving influence of its executives over the grid. Although his screen time was minimal, it provided a tangible link between the past and present, bridging the technological evolution from the original film to the advanced CGI environments of Tron Legacy. The secrecy surrounding Murphy's role was intentional. By keeping his involvement uncredited, the production preserved the element of surprise for the audience. Fans who later discovered his cameo were delighted by the detail, appreciating the effort to include actors who contributed to the continuity of the Tron narrative. Tron Uprising won awards. Tron Uprising, the animated series set between the events of Tron and Tron Legacy, achieved critical acclaim despite its brief run. Debuting in 2012 on Disney XD, the show followed Beck, a young program who rises against Clue's oppressive regime within the grid. The series stood out for its striking animation style and faithful continuation of the Tron universe. The show won several awards, including 2 Annie Awards, which are highly regarded in the field of animation, recognizing excellence in both artistic achievement and storytelling. Additionally, it earned a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Individual Achievement in Animation for Art Direction, highlighting the innovative visual design that mirrored the iconic aesthetic of the original films. The combination of dramatic narratives, action sequences, and sophisticated animation sets it apart from typical animated programs for children and adolescents. Despite the accolades, Tron Uprising lasted only 1 season. Low ratings and network decisions led to its early cancellation, which disappointed fans who had praised the series for its maturity and depth. However, the awards it received confirmed that the series had made a significant impact, demonstrating that the Tron franchise could successfully expand into animated storytelling while maintaining high production standards and appealing to both longtime fans and new audiences. Tron Uprising also served as a bridge in the Tron timeline, enriching the mythology between the original film and Legacy. Tron Guy, banned from a theater. Jay Maynard, widely known as Tron Guy, became an internet sensation for creating a homemade Tron costume that closely resembled the glowing suits from the original films. His outfit, crafted from simple materials and LED lights, earned him attention and admiration from fans, and he became a recognizable figure at conventions and online forums dedicated to Tron. When Tron Legacy was released in 2010, Maynard sought to view the film in full costume at a theater in Minnesota. However, theater management asked him to leave, citing concerns that his illuminated outfit would distract other audience members. The incident sparked discussions online about fandom, cosplay, and the rules surrounding public screenings. Despite this setback, Maynard eventually viewed the movie without his full costume and later expressed immense admiration for the film, claiming it nearly brought him to tears due to its faithful continuation of the Tron universe. The story of Tron Guy was a display of pure passion for the franchise. Shanghai Disneyland's Tron ride came first. The Tron Light Cycle Power Run made its debut at Shanghai Disneyland in 2016, marking the first major theme park attraction based on the Tron franchise, following which there was one opened at Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom in 2023. Reaching speeds over 60 miles an hour, the Tron Light Cycle Power Run became the fastest ride in a theme park. It took riders through the grid and the design of the movie. Riders hold onto handlebars while leaning forward, and a rear seat pad keeps them secure. Unlike typical roller coasters, the ride combined motion simulation, neon-lit tracks, and music to recreate the iconic aesthetic of the grid from the films. Its success demonstrated the enduring popularity of the Tron universe and Disney's commitment to bringing the films to life beyond the screen. Its popularity simply highlighted the franchise's relevance across generations. The Shanghai Tron ride also influenced how future Disney attractions integrated digital and physical elements, showing the potential of combining high-speed thrills with cinematic storytelling. The People Mover once became Tron. The Tron Light Cycle Power Run might be the first Tron-based ride, but it was certainly not the franchise's first entry into theme parks. In the early 1980s, Disneyland's People Mover received a Tron-themed makeover, transforming part of the ride into a short immersive experience based on the original 1982 film. The upper-level tunnel of the attraction, known as the Super Speed Tunnel, was updated to feature projections from Tron that mirrored the digital world of the film. The tunnel included scenes from Tron with glowing visuals and electronic imagery from the grid. During the ride, guests heard narration by a male computer voice warning them that they'd entered the game grid controlled by the Master Control program. This creative approach allowed Disneyland to introduce visitors to the Tron universe long before any major Tron roller coasters existed. By reimagining a familiar ride with futuristic projections, the park gave guests a brief but memorable encounter with the grid. The attraction combined projected film footage, practical effects, and themed audio to simulate racing through a digital world, making it an early example of multimedia storytelling in a theme park. Although the People Mover's Tron segment was temporary and later removed, it remains an important part of Disney history. Tron Ares is coming in 2025. The Tron franchise is set to continue with a third film titled Tron Ares, currently in production and expected to release in 2025. This installment will be the first major Tron feature since Tron Legacy premiered in 2010, marking a 15-year gap between films. Tron Ares will expand the digital universe created by Steven Lisberger, introducing new characters and conflicts while further exploring the mythology of the grid. Academy Award-winning actor Jared Leto has been cast in the leading role, highlighting Disney's intent to blend star power with the franchise's signature style. The film is directed by Joachim Ronning, known for his work on Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, bringing experience in large-scale productions. Filming officially began in early 2024 in Vancouver. Tron Ares is expected to continue exploring the complex relationship between humans and programs inside the grid. While plot details remain limited, early reports suggest the film will feature new challenges and action sequences while preserving light-cycle battles, a hallmark of the franchise. Unlike the previous films, Tron Ares will be the first time in the franchise that a digital program called Ares enters the real world on a mission, setting up human versus AI conflicts in a real-world urban environment rather than solely within the grid. Fans also anticipate subtle nods to the earlier films, including familiar digital environments and narrative connections to Tron Legacy. The announcement of Tron Ares generated significant excitement among longtime fans, many of whom have waited over a decade for the series' continuation. Marvelous verdict. So, we've finally come to the end of the video, and we hope you've liked our content. Tron will be continuing preserving its legacy and entertaining audiences with their jaw-dropping storytelling and visuals. Feel free to add any insane facts about the franchise that we've missed. Thank you for watching the video till the end, and stay tuned for the next marvelous video. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.